Good morning, everyone, on this August 8th, 2022. I hope our critters keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button and share this across other platforms so we can let people know what's going on out in our solar system and the effects it can have here on Earth. If you happen to be new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell in case we have any critical future updates. Folks, just want to give a little reminder. A few days ago, I did a video where we were actually looking at this main coronal hole when it was right here, right dead center, and I linked it to the two towers, you know, with the all-seeing eye, how it looked kind of like that. Well, and in that video, I did mention that we were going to be having some high-speed solar winds arriving here in the next few days. Well, guess what? They arrived. Right on time. We did get up to a KP level 6 planetary-wise. Right down here in College Station, Texas, we were at KP 6 for 9 hours. Then we came back down and then popped back up again, up into 5, and then back up into 6. And this is currently where we're at. We're living in 6. Also, so this right here is our estimated planetary, which is really weird because this should match this, but it doesn't. It kind of goes up a little bit, touches 6, comes down into 5, then down to 4, and then back up to 5. It's really kind of weird. It's a little hinky. I'm not quite understanding it, but it did arrive on time. Now, as we can also see, we've got another coronal hole that is developed right here in the center. Kind of looks like an arrow tip, if you will, like a spearhead, and it's actually following right behind it. So really, we're going to be in solar winds, for the next few days. We're going to have solar winds arriving and then moving off, and it's going, okay, we're coming back down, and then bam, we're going to get smacked again. So these are coming around. Let's also not forget to take a look at our sunspot groups. Look at our magnetogram. We've got 3 large ones, 3068, 3072, and 3073, which did develop as they were turning around the limb, but this is one large region. It's a good thing that these things are starting to say goodbye. Hopefully they don't erupt and become problematic for us as they're leaving, because as we can see, we've got our positive and our negative polarities. There are lots of friends to play with. You've got one on each side of this guy here, and this one just looks all kinds of complex. And scrolling on over here, we can see 3071 and 3074. There's not a whole lot of worries from these two. This one could actually start to develop as we zoom in on it, because we do have our negative, and it looks like we're having some positive pop up right next to it. So we scroll up a little bit. This is the one that we should be keeping our eyes out for the most, is 3076. They're already developed positive and negative. And yeah, that could definitely have some issues. Looks like we've got another one that's being circled. It could be another sunspot group that's developing, which I also do happen to believe is coming soon. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you guys, folks, was this right here. It did show up on time, and we did get into an active situation, if you will. We're having an event, but it's not super major. We got down to -9. I think down here we got down to 12. I think it was. Yep, -12 here. But you can also see as BZ, which is in the red, okay, and BT, which is in the black, this would be our positive and negative, or northern and southern polarities. Okay, and as you can see, it's bouncing around quite a bit, and as you can see, as we get into current time, we're actually already starting to come out of the event. Our poles are starting to bounce back and recover. But one of the other things that I wanted to show you guys was this right here, was our solar wind. We actually got quite high. We got up over 6. There's one little tick right here that's right above 640. And there's 640 there, but it's one tick above this. So we actually got about 680 at one point, just a little slam. So you can see our speeds slowly increasing. That's very indicative of solar winds. Now, one of the other things I did want to go over is, check this out. Coming over here to auroral activity. The aurora was absolutely going off last night. I seen it as I was going to bed, and I'm like, well, I'll just do a video in the morning, because it wasn't that big of a deal. And as we got up into KP6, the auroras were actually quite bright. But one of the other things that I wanted to draw attention to again was right here, hemispheric power, which also does relate to the aurora. Look at right here. This right here is measured in gigawatts. Okay? And here you can see from early this morning, we were looking at 59 gigawatts. Actually, this was, 9:08 this morning. This is UTC time, 59 gigawatts. Well, does anybody happen to remember what can happen with a gigawatt? Like the significance of that? Let me show you. Well, I'm glad you asked, Marty. What the heck is a gigawatt? 1 gigawatt can power up to 750,000 homes. Now, granted, there are multiple different things that you have to take in consideration. It can actually go from 200,000 up to 1 million, depending on the energy efficiency of your home. But that just lets you know that's just 1 gigawatt, not 1.21 gigawatts. So if 1 gigawatt can do up to 750,000 energy efficient homes, how much could we do here with 59? And currently we're looking at 44. Now, last night we were actually at 79 gigawatts, which is pretty high. I mean, we were way up here when we were at the KP6. So, do you think that might have pushed the solar panel movement? Absolutely. Are there other ways of harnessing it? Absolutely. And as we come back over here to LASCO C2 and C3, we're going to see a couple of really interesting things. We're going to see a large round planetary object right there come off here, and then look, sun diving comet. See that? We'll let this thing replay so that you can see it again. It actually kind of comes off quite interesting. You can see it both on LASCO C2 and here on LASCO C3, a large round planetary object, and then you see a sun diving comet here, and you'll see it appear here. There goes the planet, or planetary object, and phew, there goes the comet, or large meteor diving into the sun. Very awesome indeed. Folks, I can't thank you enough. I've been really struggling to get to this number, and we finally got there. Over 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. It's moments like these that make me truly happy and also bring me to a place of humility. Folks, we have to realize how much we actually impact each other. I know that I'm making an impact of difference when I speak to people. We influence each other and uplift and inspire each other with our words, with our actions, with our very presence at times. I'd like to give you an example. This is a picture of one of my fellow subscribers, Nonconformista. She actually happened to find this jacket and she bought it because of Psycho Clown World, because she believes in me and in Figgy and the work that we're doing, trying to bring truth and knowledge to people, and bought a Psycho Clown World jacket. You can clearly see the rabbit, you can see the rabbit hole and things spiraling down. And these moments like this is where it really humbles a person. I love you, sissy. As I love all of you. Awesome is that, folks. Now, for those of you who are not aware, I've actually just updated my Psycho Clown World playlist. And I've got 3 that I think everyone should come and watch. They're less than 15 minutes apiece. They're Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Part 1, 2, and 3, where I actually make ties in the Bible to basically that it is a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or a Galactic Farmer's Almanac. I do a lot of touching on the number 12. I do bring up the 7s in here a couple of times, bringing the 7s into it, but also I make a lot of connections with how it's a Farmer's Almanac and a Hitchhiker's Guide. For instance, the 12s and the 144,000. I do mention that in these 3, folks, so please go on over here to Psycho Clown World playlist and check it out. 1, 2, and 3. There's a lot of eye-opening information for you. And as always, eyes open, no fear, and remember that love is the only way forward. Thank you again.